Hello, good evening, all. I don't know what it is, good morning or what it is. But yes, greetings, all. We are back with Team Odunton Neuron. Today, actually, we had shared this PDF a day ago, I guess, to the people out there. So I thought explaining this PDF has a very important matter of aspect so that you guys can score utmost mark in public health industry. Okay. So let's start with the first question. First question says residents of three villages with three different types of water supply. Now the first word which should be striking in your head is three different types of water supply. Means a group of people having A, B, and C, which means three different types of water supply, were asked to participate in a study to identify the cholera carriers. So cholera carriers is another keywords. So three different kind of people are moving towards an identification of one disease because several cholera deaths had occurred in recent past. Okay, now virtually everyone present at the time submitted for to the examination, which means at the time, this word is very important. At the time is cemetery examination, the proportion of residents in each village who were carriers was computed and compared. The study is called as what? Now when it comes, they have given already two clues. One is three different group and one disease, first point. And moreover, the main clue is at the time. Okay, at the time. Whenever this word comes, at the time means at one point of time, the answer directly shift towards only one good answer in the whole options, which is called as cross sectional studies. Okay, now this study can also be regarded as snapshot of population. This word is also very important. A snapshot of the population also plays a very important role to give a conclusion as a cross-sectional study. Okay, yes. When the word comes, snapshot also is regarded as a cross-sectional study. Means at the time, at the point of time, has a very important role to conclude this as a cross-sectional or some other study. Okay. Now, in this point of time, you have to know other such units of studies also. Okay. For example, you have one such study is okay. We'll just revise different types of study. Okay. Cohort. Okay. You have case control. First is cohort, second is case control, and third is your cross sectional, and fourth is your ecological study. So all these four kinds of studies are very important for you to be noted. To be very brief, cohort is prospective study. Yeah, it's a prospective study, right? It's a forward-looking study. You go cause to the effect. You go cause to the effect. That's what a cohort is. Whereas case control is your retrospective study. Okay, you go effect to the cause, whereas in cohort you go cause to the effect. Okay, next is a cross-sectional study, which we saw. It's a kind of at the point of time study or a snapshot population, and ecological study is called as correlational study. Okay, so this is a brief thing about the question and different kind of answer. Now with this, we'll go to next question in the row. The next question in the row is they're asking about hypothesis. Okay, what is hypothesis? The answer for this is hypothesis, nothing but variable which is to be tested. For example, if I say there are two kinds of drug. Okay, there are two drug A and drug B, and if I say drug A has higher potential than drug B, and if I give explanation for it, if I give explanation, sorry, drug A has higher potential than drug B. Now I have to uh, test this variable by saying it is true or false. It is true that drug A has higher potential. It is true that drug B is having higher potential or not. That condition is known as hypothesis. Okay. Okay. The best study of first choice for assessment of unknown or new disease, very important, unknown or new disease, is called as the hypothesis used is descriptive epidemiology. This is known as descriptive epidemiology. Okay, now we have to know big good stuff here. Descriptive epidemiology is sorry for my spelling. Descriptive epidemiology is a criteria in which you make a hypothesis formulation. You formulate an hypothesis. The first one is just know. Next is analytical epidemiology, in which you test the hypothesis. Now, how you test the hypothesis? You test the hypothesis by various studies which we studied earlier: cohort, case control, okay, cross sectional, or ecological. You test in various ways. And the last one is your experimental epidemiology, in which the hypothesis is confirmed. So it's called as hypothesis confirmation, in which you have different types such as RCT, field trial, community trial, and you have something else called as clinical trial. Okay, so this is what you have to know. So unknown or new disease with no etiological hypothesis, which means I'm about to start a new hypothesis, so I have to formulate a hypothesis which is called a descriptive epidemiology. Okay, and these three comes in the we have studied right now, which is your analytical epidemiology. Okay, so this is what it is. The fourth question: the following is true about prevalence and incidence. Okay, now in this you have to know three tools of epidemiology very clearly. Okay, then we'll come to this question. One is rate, okay, and there is ratio, and the last one is proportion. A rate is something in which numerator is a part of denominator and is a multiplier of 1000. Ratio in which numerator is not a part of denominator, and proportion in which numerator is a part of denominator and is a multiplier of 100. Okay, now the answer for this is the following is true about prevalence and incidences. Incidence is rate and prevalence is not. Okay, you have to know this concept. Incidence is rate and prevalence is not. Why? Because the formula of the incidence itself. Okay, space. Okay, the formula of incidence is equal to number of new cases, okay, divided by total number of population into 100, means into 1000. Okay, 2000, which means if this is the population, if this in the square is the population, okay, if I find the new cases in this square, okay, in this square, this is called as incidence, which means the new cases is a part of the population and it's a multiplier of 1000. Okay, so that's called as your ratio. Simple example of this incidence is that. Okay, when it comes to prevalence is numerator has no part with the denominator. Okay, and when it comes to prevalence formula, sorry, numerator is a part of the denominator and is a multiplier of 100. That is what prevalence is. Okay, so the formula of prevalence is number of new case plus old case divided by total number of population into 100. So it comes in percentage, so it's proportion. Okay, okay, that's what prevalence is. So prevalence is proportion and incidence is a rate, so it's the right answer. Okay, now at what point in which a population is for calculation for CD, accrued death rate? Okay, now in this you have to know the accrued death rate. Crude death rate. Now I'll just say the formula of crude death rate, and the answer is very simple. It's 1st July. The formula of crude death rate is debt ratio, okay, divided by 1000 mid-year population. Okay, that's what the formula of CDR is. You have to know this formula. It's somewhere down line simple. Okay, now comes your mathematics funda. The question is, in an outbreak of cholera in a village of 2000 population, 20 cases have occurred and 5 died. The case fatality rate is. Now the case fatality rate formula is number of deaths, okay, divided by number of cases into 100. Okay, so now my question towards you is it a proportion or rate or ratio? Okay, think about this till then we'll solve the question. Now number of deaths is 5. Okay, number of cases is 20 into 100, which is 25%. Clear? So case fatality rate. So the case fatality rate is 25%. Now you have to know another thing. Okay, the survival rate. The survival rate is equal to 1 minus case fatality rate. Okay, that is known as your survival rate. That's the formula of survival rate. Case fatality rate is number of deaths by number of cases into 100. So if it's 100 and comes in percentage, it's absolutely it's a proportion or not. Just find this out. It's a proportion or not. And the survival rate is 1 minus case fatality rate. Okay. Which of the following is a better indicator of the severity of acute disease? Now, the severity of the acute disease, the best indicator is, case fatality rate. Okay, so next, this is your basic theoretical base question. Sullivan index is measure of life expectancy free of disability, and this one which you see is your DALY measures life years adjusted with that is your DALY. See, next is why I'm getting this much case fatality rate is because it's a very important question. Okay, case fatality rate is killing power of the disease. Okay, so that is known as your case fatality rate. And I will see the last question. I said out of 15 minutes first session. So it's the last question. The 10 questions you see is health status of two population is best compared by what means? It is always compared by standard mortality rate. Okay. Now it is basically the standard mortality rate is basically a ratio. Okay, and this standard mortality rate is calculated according to difference in age. Okay, different age groups are calculated in a different manner. Okay, so this was a 15 minutes quick revision for your PhD. We'll have another session with remaining questions, whatever it's there. Most probably I'll upload an app on YouTube. You guys just carry on, check it out. Okay, do well. Anytime, any doubts, do feel free to share. Okay, take care. Bye bye.